G'day guys and welcome back to GNs_gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So for today's video, I'm a little bit late for this one guys, sorry, I actually got the times mixed up of when the battle was going to drop. But nonetheless, we're here and we're going to be going through the team building guide for the new STR Super Baby. So looks to be insanely good unit. So before we jump into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do team building guides for all the new units that do come out. So firstly, looking at the details for Baby, for his teams, we've got Corroded Body and Mind and Battle of Fate. Those are his two leader skills. Then we've got Terrifying Conquerors, Final Trump Card, GT Bosses, Transformation Boost, Giant Form, Artificial Life Forms, Target Goku, Revenge, Inhuman Deeds, Giant Ape Power, and Space Traveling Warriors. So as you can see there, we have quite a number of really good teams. The issue is that he is very heavily tied to Corroded Body and Mind and GT bosses through his passive. So it does give us a few limitations in terms of team building in that regard. For his links, we've got Thirst for Conquest, Metamorphosis, Big Bad Bosses, GT, Hatred of Saiyans, Nightmare, and Fierce Battle. So, as you can see, very good extreme class link set here. For the sake of this, we're saying he's in Super Baby 2, and with that, you can have a 7 out of 7 linking partner with the STR Super Baby 1. So obviously the untransformed version of this baby, if you did want to rock with that one there. Dropping down to our 6 linking partners, you see we've got the Int Super Baby 2 here. Actually really solid unit. If one day they do, or if one day soon they were to release off the restrictions of him being banned, I feel like he would be really useful to run next to this baby. So if there is any events that you're rocking and you can bring him, I definitely recommend doing so. We've got the STR Metal Rildo. It would be nice to see him get an easy A, or if we were to get a new Rildo as the Part 2 LR, I definitely wouldn't complain about that either. Then the last one that we've got here is the Tech Baby. He's a bit of a nothing at this point, obviously. Then we jump into our 5 links. So too bad this wasn't a little bit earlier, because we could have got the boost from the Super Baby 2 while he had his passive boost, but he does share links there. We've also got the STR Slug, who's definitely still somewhat runnable, and also on the banner, so that can work. And then you'll see we do fill out with the Int Garlic Jr. here. So Garlic Jr., another unit that I'd love to see get a sub-easy A, extreme class support with Big Bad Bosses, would definitely take that. But yeah, so that's our 5 linking partners. Then we move on to our 4 linking partners. So we've got the Tech Janemba here, recently, or relatively recent easy A, and he's really solid. Metal Cooler, a unit that we expect could easy A at any point in time, realistically. We've got the Tech Transforming Freezer. We'll just be waiting on a super easy A for. The AGL Trunks Banner unit. Now, he's a support class unit, but is sort of tied to slot 1, so I'm not personally a big fan of him. But if you did pull copies, maybe you want to test out rocking with him on the team. We've got Int Janemba, which is good because that's another Corroded Body or Mind ally that we have who can fulfill Baby's passive to get that transformation off a little bit quicker, so that's good. Remember, you can always just throw him in as a dodging slot 3 support. And then we've got the STR Cooler, who's in the same boat as the Physical Metal Cooler, where we're just waiting for that easy A and it could drop at any time. So a few good options in there. Then we move into our 3 linking partners, and I think this is where you're going to find a lot of your sort of money partners. So we've got the STR Rose. If you pulled him during the worldwide celebration, global celebration, whatever you want to call it, you know that he's an absolute monster. AGL Full Power Freezer could be useful for longer form content. Remember that this baby is a stacker, so yeah, if you want to be going into a longer stage, you can make use of that. We've also got the Tech Super 17. We do know that he is getting an easy A. We don't know what his easy A details are, but we know it's incoming, so I'm sure that hopefully they can do a good job with him there. We've got the Physical Omega, one of the best units in the game, and an absolute extreme class monster. And then we've also got the Int Shadow Dragons, who are GT Bosses support class unit, so they're obviously going to work really well with Baby supplying that extra juice. So then we get into the team building, which I've left animations on, lol. But anyways, so we're jumping into the first team build, and this is a Super Baby mixed team. So you see we've got both some Battle of Fate and some GT bosses. Some corroded body and mind and some GT bosses in here. So obviously we're fulfilling that part of the passive for Baby, but we've got him as our leader, Physical Omega, STR Rose, AGL Rose, who's a really good support class unit, STR Omega, who's just really solid with his damage reduction. He's got the support, and if you are going up against an enemy that can be debuffed, he's really useful there. And then we've got the Int Janamba, who we sort of discussed just before, that he does have that ability to just act as a dodging slot 3 unit for you. For rotations on this one, could go a couple of ways. I definitely recommend Baby alongside Omega as one of your rotations, so that you can constantly be popping that support with Omega. That'd be really useful. And then you could either run the 2 Roses together, which is always a really good combo. They share a bunch of links, but that's only if you did want to float your friend. If not, you could always run Baby with the STR Rose, float the AGL Rose for his support, float the STR Omega, and then also the Int Janamba 2. So we'd have some really top quality floating units that can give us a lot of value there. But I think this will be one of the better options that you can run the new STR Baby with. It just sort of does require you to have managed to pull the new Omega and Rose, because they're really, really integral to this team. Continuing on with the STR Baby, and you may think that this looks a little bit funny, like why have I got the same pick 5 times? It's because if you didn't get those new units and you're looking for a way to run this baby and be relatively effective, you could always just make a clone team. Now, is it going to be the best in the world? No, but I'm sure you will be able to beat a decent amount of content with it. Maybe that's what helps you to get some missions done. Like, I'd be very interested to see if you can get the anniversary Corroded Body or Mind mission done with this team. So really, you get to pick 2 of your favourite clones, and you're going to run them on rotation with the STR Baby. I think running the straight clones is probably going to be better than mixing and matching them, because they do have the restrictions with like the different typings and whatnot. So that's worth keeping in mind. But yeah, if you need options, clones are always going to be there for you. So another style of team build there. The next team we've got is the Physical Omega. As I said, we are quite restricted in terms of the passive if you're going for the ability to transform Baby really early. So you'll see throughout the teams that, yeah, that sort of showcase. But up here we have a Physical Omega team. I've called it the mix. We've got GT bosses, we've got Inhuman Ds. We're just floating between the leader skills here. So Omega as our lead, we've got STR Baby, the STR Rose again, Tech Golden Frieza Gogeta, Tech Sin Shenron, and then also the AGL Rose. So for this one, I'd be going again Physical Omega with the STR Baby. I think that's just going to be really effective, and the ability to keep that support ongoing from the Omega is going to be really, really impactful. And then I'd probably go STR Rose alongside Omega as well. Yeah, really do like the idea of keeping both Omegas on the on rotation in this team. So that's going to leave you to float the Tech Golden Frieza. Remember that you can always utilize him with his target mechanic. So as a floater, that's really effective because he's going to maximize his damage before he is performing his own super attacks. So we love to see that. And then you'd also be floating AGL Rose with the support and the King, Tech Sin Shenron. Now, seems funny for us to have a banner unit be so highly regarded, but remember, you've got that first turn of him where he's got the huge damage reduction. He's a rainbow orb changer. Yeah, he just does a lot of good stuff for the team. You could easily run him on rotation. So I definitely reckon he's a great addition to this team as well. I think this will be a really, really powerful team to go with. And then the next we have is a Physical Omega GT Bosses team. So for this one, obviously we're going to strict GT Bosses. It's the exact same team as the last, except we're bringing in the Int Shadow Dragons. Remember that they do want to be on a team with other GT Bosses units to be able to maximise their damage reduction, but really good support class unit. And then we've got the Tech 17 on this one. Now, as I said before, we do know he's getting an Easy 8, but we aren't sure of the details of yet. So, could he be terrible? Potentially, but I'm hopeful that at least he's good enough to be able to be rocked as a floater, and then that will allow us to, run that full GT Bosses team pretty effectively, because at the moment we are sort of short one unit. The Int Super Baby 2 is a good option, but unfortunately he's banned in so many places, so I don't like to include him in teams all too often. But yeah, there's a GT Bosses that you could rock with. And then the last team we've got here, as I mentioned, passive restrictions make it hard, but for the sake of having some diversity in the team builds, for this one I have actually included a team that doesn't give him his full passive. So we've got the AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku Giant 8 Power team, got him as our lead. We've got STR Baby, the Int Super Baby 2 that I was just talking about, Physical Super Saiyan 4s, the AGL Gogeta, and then the new Tech Broly as well. So for this one, it'd be the two babies together. Obviously, they're going to link really well. And then the Physical Super Saiyan 4s with the AGL Gogeta. That's going to leave you to float the two AGL Super Saiyan 4 Gokus. So even when you don't have the extreme part of Baby's passive active, you will at least be getting some damage reduction support from the Goku to sort of offset that a little bit, and then every third rotation you will get the Tech Broly alongside the two babies. That'll give you your full extreme class rotation. You'll get the extra damage reduction, the scouter, all of that good stuff. So even though it's not ideal, we're sort of just making do with what we've got, I guess, at the moment. So depending on Easy A's, sub Easy A's, this team could definitely be much improved, but yeah, this is what we've got for the time being. So there you go, guys. That is the team building guide. In terms of my preference, I think that this Physical Omega team is probably going to be the way to go. I think that on paper, this team, like given the domains, the supports, target mechanic, like you got a lot of utility on this team. So I think it should work really, really effectively. But either way, let me know down below which was your favourite team. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.